From censored files to clear evidence, this is Redacted Realms.
With a history of 5,000 years, why hasn't China produced any great scientific geniuses? As history spans 5,000 years, while Europe. However, scientific and technological discoveries from the West have all surpassed those of China. Today, although China has made remarkable progress in economy, science, and technology, most prestigious awards like the Nobel or high fives are given to Westerners. Whether the West will continue to maintain this position in the future is a question that not only sparks controversy but also arouses the curiosity of many. So now, let's explore the reasons with Redacted Realms. We believe there are three main reasons why the West has surpassed China in scientific and technological discoveries and inventions. That is culture, politics, and people. First is culture. If you've ever heard of Confucianism or Hinduism, you probably know these two religions are not always lenient. Both divide society into castes. Confucianism in China sets strict rules on who must obey whom. Children obey parents, wives follow husbands, and people are absolutely loyal to the king. At first glance, this seems like a very orderly society. But this very thing kills creativity and curiosity, essential elements for inventing something new. As for Hinduism, things are even tougher. You are born into a caste and remain there forever. The concept of rising up seems impossible, and this has stifled personal aspirations. What about Buddhism? Buddhism teaches people to be content, free from greed, anger, and delusion, which sounds good for the soul. But when it comes to innovation and creativity, it becomes a major barrier. However, Europe is not perfect either. There, Christianity once suppressed many creative thoughts, evidenced by the Inquisition courts and witch hunts. Galileo was imprisoned just for saying the earth revolves around the sun. But the difference is, despite obstacles, Europe still had a certain degree of, and people believed that science was a way to explore God's creation. That's why even in the darkest times, Europe still had scientific inventions. The Pope's Crusades aimed to restore Catholic control in the Middle East, also led to the revival of European science. When the Crusaders entered the Middle East, they massacred non-Catholics, those considered heretics, but this is related to the revival of European civilization. In the 6th century, when Muhammad founded Islam, by the 7th and 8th centuries, Muslim Arabs had conquered the entire Middle East and spread Islam worldwide. When they reached Morocco, they crossed the sea to Spain and occupied the country. They assimilated Spain into Muslims, which is why Spaniards today have features similar to Arabs. They continued to attack France and Germany, but when attacking Germany, they were defeated. If not for the Germans stopping the Arabs, perhaps all of Europe would have converted to Islam. And that is also why to this day, Europe still has many Muslims, especially in Spain. When the Arabs invaded Europe, Greek civilization was flourishing at the time. They took all of Europe's knowledge books, translated them into Arabic, and brought them back to their country, then destroyed the original European books, until the Catholic Crusaders passed through these Arab countries. They realized that the entire Greek civilization, destroyed by Asians, was located in Arab countries. They brought it back to Europe and restored Greek civilization. Thus, this event laid the foundation for the later Renaissance period. What is the Renaissance? It was the revival of Greek civilization's achievements after the Dark Ages. Thus, religion both hindered scientific development and inadvertently spurred the growth of European science. Now, let's move to the second factor, politics. Qin Shi Huang was a king with great merit in unifying and assimilating Chinese ethnic groups, creating a strong centralized political system. China became a large and powerful nation. But this very stability created an environment lacking competition. When China was strong, its vassal states were also. When China was weak, its vassal states weakened. There was no major motivation to drive development when everything was so stable. In contrast, in Europe, Greek civilization was a city-state civilization. Without unification, power was distributed among city-states with different political systems. Athens followed a democratic republic system, while Sparta followed a centralized monarchy. The division of power among city-states created a fiercely competitive environment. If Athens didn't develop, Sparta would swallow it. This drove city-states to continuously innovate and develop. It was in this environment that great minds like Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato emerged, laying the foundation for major scientific inventions later. Meanwhile, in the East, China was the big brother of the region and no one was strong enough to compete with them. This caused a lack of motivation for scientific and technological development. It's not that we East Asians are less intelligent than Westerners. Some East Asian countries even have IQ scores among the highest in the world, evidenced by how countries like Korea, Japan, China, and Vietnam dominate in science and technology. For how in American universities, East Asian students achieve superior academic performance compared to other. However, in Nobel Prizes, East Asians are significantly. This is explained by East Asians having less curiosity in their genes compared to Westerners. Specifically, the diversity in scientific achievements is determined by the curiosity embedded in the dopamine receptor gene DRD4 with 7 repeats. Mental stability lies in the polymorphism of the serotonin transporter with the long allele HTTLPR. And individualism resides in the NAOA receptor gene and OPRM1 allele. East Asians tend to develop fewer traits that determine exceptional success. These traits form a tight structure. We define the Chi index as a measure of curiosity based on its frequency in genes. Across the entire world population, research shows that both IQ scores and the Chi index greatly contribute to Nobel Prizes per capita. Looking at early Western geographical discoveries, we can see they were very curious about the outside world. This doesn't mean we lack creativity, but it shows that to become a great scientist, curiosity is a crucial factor. In the West, individualistic spirit is encouraged. This helps scientists have space to freely explore and develop new things. Whereas in the East, traditions of respecting elders and adhering to social rules reduce this freedom. If you think Europe was always superior, think again. There was a time when Greek and Roman civilizations were nearly wiped out, saved by the Pope's Crusades. But thanks to the Crusades, this knowledge was brought back to Europe, spurring the remarkable development of Western science and technology. Therefore, it can be said that religion was both a barrier and inadvertently a driving force for European scientific development. This is an important historical lesson we should not overlook. The question arises, how can East Asian countries produce generations like Isaac Newton? According to the Ha's story, the answer lies in changing culture and the education system. We need to eliminate development hindering views like contentment mentality and conservative religion. Instead, it's necessary to encourage creative curiosity from a young age and promote individual spirit in society. An education system should not only teach students to memorize but also encourage them to challenge what is known and explore the unknown. Only in this way can we create great scientists and elevate science and technology to new heights. So we have journeyed together from past to future, from east to west, to understand why the West has excelled in scientific and technological inventions. The story doesn't just stop at comparison but also gives us valuable lessons about change and development. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video until the end. If you found this content interesting and useful, don't forget to click this, turn on notifications and share to spread these interesting things to more people. And if you have any opinions, please leave a comment below. For now, goodbye and see you in the next videos on Redacted Realms. Subscribe to Redacted Realms to support us and continue following new content.
If this file opened your eyes, subscribe and open the next case.